soon.
Should be when the lights come on.
Please.
You get a good one.
No worries, I'm just going to stop jumping about then and just kind of settle on Lofty, because he'll be the pole sitter. He is the one that will lead us away once they come on. And while the cars are settling at 4,200 revs per minute, we're going to get the 5 lights. We've got the 5 lights, we've got to change the camera for 5 lights. We've got the 5 lights for the first time this season here in Melbourne, and the lights are off and we're racing here in Australia, and it seems to be a good start for Lofty. Hyper's got away relatively well as well, so, and that's Dodgy settling in there behind his former teammate, and Lofty's went wide, and Lofty's went wide onto the grass, and he's kind of slowing everybody down. Ferrari's run wide on the outside of turn 2, and as they all file down under the shades of the trees in turn 3, we've got Hypers leading for Lofty, leading for Scott Laney, who get pushed wide, and that's allowed the Ferrari baggy fan up through, and he's get pushed wide through turn 4 as well.
Oh, someone's round.
Crash.
Big contact at the back there as carbon fibres getting chucked about like it's David's business, as the timing screens. Oh, and there's a crash at the turn 5 as well, and that looks to be a Ferrari. That looks to be baggy.
Yeah,
it is baggy, so he's picked up some more damage. Yellow flags are waving for 1 and 2. So looking at the position changes, like the only person no to have lost or gained anything is a Flying Lemon in P10. Everybody's at least gained or lost something. And honestly, I can't really tell what happened.
Sorry. Oh, wow.
Oh.
He's
He cut the corner big time there.
He's in trouble for Grumpy Orange, I'd imagine. He tried to go from around the outside of the chicane. Grumpy Orange is singing better off that. But yeah, a bit of a hectic start. McLaren, I don't know if Steve-O got damaged, because I saw a bit of McLaren carbon fibre pop up. Yeah, it did at turn 1. I think Steve-O must have hit the back of someone at turn 1, and also Maxwell's obviously had a spin, a contact with somebody.
He's going to own the Ferrari. Russell's having to go all the way to the pit wall to avoid Steve-O there. Steve-O's car was understeering chronically through turn 16. He's lost his front left end plate, and that's going to allow Scott up the inside into turn 1 as well. Maxwell is into the pits. Looking at a Flying Lemon who's right up behind Paul, and this is for P10. Dolphin picking up the first penalty of the race. We'll also try and keep penalty chat to an absolute minimum. So Dolphin is probably setting an unwanted record for the first penalty in Season 6 in Division 3, so he'll not want that particular accolade. But looking at the main position changes, Flying Lemon's obviously the only one that you can see on the left hand side who hasn't gained or lost anything. You've got small gains at the front with Dodgy and Scott Laney up 1, Hyper's up 1 up to the lead, crucially enough. Lofty losing out after running wide at turn 1, and he is right on the real wing, Hypers. So once after his mistake on turn 1 and allowing Hypers through, this is really Lofty's kind of time to just kind of settle in and go for it, get the excess grass and dirt off his tyres and go for it again. Both of them already built a 1 second gap, so both of them crucially just about outside the DRS zone. Third place Dodgy, who's already out of the gap for Scott Laney, who just seems to be drifting backwards. I don't know if he's got damage, I don't know if you can see anything on his card, but
he is okay, so he's obviously just lacking pace in this early stage. Maybe he had to avoid some bit at the start. He obviously had to get past somebody at the start, which is Dolphin. But Dodgy, just got he's got a front row seat really, because he's almost put it in the wall, having said that. So he's going to have to try and regroup himself and go back, but he's not in a bad position here, because he's not going to be able to overtake both of them at the same time. Lofty's really pushing Hypers around, so if he just stays in that position, he'll be good. But Lofty is really giving Hypers a hard time at the moment.
Definitely, and it looks to be Lofty as just the quicker of the two. Both of them showing excessive pace, so like both of them already pulling away for Dodgy, who is just kind of looking already on lap 2 to run his own race. Like he's got a buffer between himself and Scott Laney at 2.6, who's got a buffer, and everybody in the top 6 outside of the front 2 have a buffer. Lofty running a bit wide through there, Russell with the slap on the wrist there for the stewards, the end game stewards anyway.
He's not making the move. Jester almost put it in the wall out of the chicane. He got a waft of dirty air from the back of Gareth's car. He was right on the back, and then he just got a big bit of dirty air. This train, the P6, is starting to form. Colden is sort of teetering on the edge of DRS. It's got a bad exit actually, and third Paul is going to gobble him up, and should have the move away before turn 1, and he's up in the P8.
And Paul making some moves after his loss of 2 off the start. Talking about the start as well, you get Colden who is up 3, Crafty up 4.
Here comes a flying lemon, sorry.
Oh, and a flying lemon going to try and get around the outside of 3. Colden does give him the squeeze. He does shut the door quite firmly there. It says the outside isn't an option. And Lemon is just going to have to settle in. Once again, he is running on the tail end of the points. And Colden looking to me, Max and Chris, but he is just looking a bit slower than everybody else around about him. And I think that train that you were saying just a minute ago, Max, for P6 is really going to start becoming a train for P9 as Gareth, Crafty and Paul are starting to find their feet. Lemon getting a bit of a switch on the exit of turn 9, and that's going to allow Grumpy Orange a wee luck into the Fashion 11 and 12.
No.
And he does. Oh no, get him in! Get him in! He's leading the race, he's been disconnected, and that's going to allow Lofty and Dodgy a run. Does the car still like ghost when you go near them? No.
No, he's going to be. I'll send them a couple of invites.
Lofty's lost it, Max! Lofty's away! And Lofty's slammed into the wall on the exit of the final corner, and that's going to allow Scott Lady up into the podium. That's going to allow Dolphin to get a lap as well. And
seemed like he just got kicked from the game. Straight up, was not going to help.
Sorry, Lofty. Lavar gave you the commentator's curse. I mean, it's still really early. We've seen stranger things happen, but Lofty has got some wing damage, and that's going to be Crafty running the outside into 3, and Lofty is going to have to nurse that car back to the pits and get it fixed. But while Lofty's having to nurse his car, Flying Lemon's putting pressure on Colden, and he's tapped him on the tyre, and Lofty's right. Oh, that's going to allow Grumpy Orange up the inside into 5. Lofty's on the grass, he's going to have to watch. He's right on the outside there, and Russell's basically pushing a Flying Lemon through turn 7. Everybody's come to shove. It's absolutely manic racing here in the midfield, and Colden is going to have to shut the inside, but it's going to allow Grumpy Orange up the inside, and that's going to be a penalty there, and Colden just getting a bit of breathing room there as Grumpy Orange gets a bit out of shape. Flying Lemon.
Don't know where to
right
look,
Riggs.
oh my word.
I've absolutely no idea what's happening. Russell getting a bit keen. He's going to fancy his chances. Grumpy Orange is definitely fancying it round the outside of that wee kink, and the round into 13 as well. Later on the brakes, Colden looks very tentative. Oof. He looks like he's nursing a damaged car, Max. Is he damaged?
I think so.
Damaged?
I mean, he's just been overtaken by 3 cars in about 5 seconds there. Yeah, he's not got damage, and even Scott behind him has got damage and is looking quicker. Yellow in the background.
Yellow somewhere as well.
Is Lofty with his wing damage. Still at the back of the circuit and is about to come into the pits, so he'll be home for a safety car. But yeah, Hyper's.
Sorry, Max, I'm on board with Scott as he gets his way back. Max, Colden needs to have some kind of damage. That car looks like it's struggling. It really does. Like, he's so slow through some of these corners. He's. Is it one of the incidents where it's just like lime green damage on the front wing?
Well, it seems to come out of nowhere. You kind of just go a bit slower all of a sudden. Like, he wasn't desperately quick, but then all of a sudden he just lost all his. Well, maybe he lost confidence. I don't know. The tyres are going. It's hard to explain because he just kind of lost a lot of pace in the space of half a lap.
Like, it's just, I'm just watching, and like he's kind of looking like he's starting to find a bit of rhythm now, but like he just looks like he's like treading on eggshells here. Like, it looks like he doesn't really want to push that car to its limit, and that's cost him big time. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to jinx anyone again, but Flying Lemon hasn't got a point yet in his SLR career. And
what we have done, Max.
And
you've ruined the boy.
I have probably ruined him, but yeah, I mean, and nor has Russell actually. So they're in the points. I mean, and Grumpy Orange. Oh my god! Again, side by side into turn 1. I could have just jinxed him completely here.
Oh, and Flying Lemon making the move round outside of 2, and that's going to allow Russell a wee luck as well, and he's going to get up the inside and run into turn 3. So while you're sitting here, is he going to go late on the brakes? Lemon looks up, Russell takes the curb, Grumpy Orange concedes the place, tries it again in through turn 4, Russell runs wide, but keeps the place up to P9 for the Ferrari, and he is making some moves, and look at that, Max, look at that, like Flying Lemon was just stuck behind Grumpy Orange trying to find a way by, and he's already been released into some free air. He's like a horse in a field. He's away chasing Paul now for P7, and Russell will probably have Grumpy Orange for a bit of company for the next few corners at least.
Yeah, that was a good bit of racing from the Div 3 boys. That's how it's done. Grumpy Orange showing a lot of respect as Lofty has just made his way past Baggy Fan down at the back of the field. I don't know if Baggy's gone onto the grass somewhere or not, because I thought I saw a bit on his front left, but Lofty has made a move, only for P17. They're a long way back and do need a safety car. Crispy, haven't heard from you yet. What have you seen so far, and what do we need to look out for?
Well, I was just going to go back to the start and just say, yeah, that was probably the worst possible start both of the McLarens could have hoped for. I think, obviously, Maxwell lost it completely coming out of turn 4, I think it was. That was obviously probably some after effects of what happened on the formation lap and having completely cold tyres, and his teammate Steve-O completely went into him, and obviously that was where he got his wind damage from, so that was a complete nightmare start for both of the McLarens right there. They did pit onto the medium tyres, so they're probably not gonna make it to the end. They will definitely have to come in again. There is quite a few gaps spreading across the field already, but yeah, while you two was chatting away there, yeah, that battle between Russell, Orange, Lemon was absolutely brilliant, and I think at the moment it is probably the closest battle on track, I think. So yeah, more of the same from these guys, I hope.
Oh, and talking about them, Crispy, sorry, we've got Russell having to defend for Orange again into turn 13. Orange is going to go the long way round, and he makes the move stick. Russell made the move round the outside in turn 4, and Grumpy Orange has returned the favour in turn 13.
Ooh,
so
Lemon's wide.
both of them just swapping places as we've seen some pit lane action there, racing points in, Ferraris in, and they have come in roughly around about the optimum time for the hard tyres. This is the main pit window, would you say? This is kind of when we'll start to expect to see some of the drivers in?
This is case in point, the undercut as a Flying Lemon has got a front wing change. It's going for the medium compound tyres. Interestingly, as Russell is going for the undercut on Grumpy Orange and he's ahead. Well, they're both trying to be ahead of Scott, really. They want to get out ahead of him, and there should be a Flying Lemon. Don't know if he's going to get out ahead. I think he should just about, but he's going to have him. Scott's going to have a better line through turn 1, but I think he's just going to, just ahead. So it's good for him, but Flying Lemon needs to regroup and hopefully find some pace and hope tyres last to the end of the Grand Prix.
Oh, I was just on board with Crafty through 11 and 12, and he just took a very unusual line, and he rode so much on the exit curb, and I know how easy it is just to put a wee bit extra throttle in, and the car gets sent into the wall with that curb. So Crafty maybe brushing quite close to death there, but Scott Laney has just been slapped with a speeding penalty in the pit lane as the leaders come in for their first stop of the race, and that's going to give the lead to Dolphin, and Gareth and Crafty are going to take their places in second and third place respectively. And I'm on board with Crafty, who is slowly closing in on the Williams up in front, as Gareth does look up and miss the apex for turn 3. So Crafty really starting to apply some serious pressure to Gareth. So they are going to try and make an overcut work, try and make an extension on these soft tyres. Can I go through the pain of the wear and hope for their tyres to be that tiny percentage fresher right at the end when it really matters, because that's where the points are earned, is right at the end. You need to make it to the end to actually get some.
Russell's still ahead of Colden. Colden has come out ahead of Flying Lemon courtesy of that wing change. Scott is still on the back of a Flying Lemon at the moment. But yeah, Russell doing okay. And fingers crossed for him that he can hopefully do a good job and get some points on the board. But we have to wait and see where Grumpy Orange comes out, because that's who he's in the battle with.
Oh, and definitely it'll really just be a matter of where Grumpy Orange pits and where he comes out. Yellow flags, and that looks to be for an Alpha Tauri. And it's Dolphin! Dolphin's reversing into the... That was... don't even know what the words are for that.
Oh, he's hit Gareth.
Oh, dearie me.
Gareth's coming to the pit
He's
lane.
blocking the pit lane. He's blocking the track. He's blocking everything. Dolphin just taking the bollard. I've absolutely...
Oh, that was not good.
I've honestly no words as Dolphin does come out the pit sprightly in close pursuit as well. Dolphin's picking up a speeding penalty for his troubles there, so that looks to me it's just a matter of Dolphin losing it on turn 15,
Yeah.
and he's just reversed straight back onto the track and blocked the pit lane, and
He's ruined Gareth
he's just left with nowhere to go.
Gareth was ahead of Jester, and he's now 5.5 seconds behind him. So he's completely ruined Gareth, and well, I mean, yeah, Gareth's not going to be too happy with that one. He's obviously got a 5-second timer for hitting him, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he's been relegated to pretty much the back of the grid, or back of the field.
It's a hard one to. It's just gonna make noises because words escape me. But I don't even know where to start. I think Gareth will probably be on the board anyway and just kind of say like, "Come on, what you doing? Like, get out of the way. Like, you don't need to reverse back onto the track anyway." I think like the rule is Taylor, and I mean it is real life, but like I'm sure like you're not really allowed to reverse
No.
the car because that is an instant disqualification. That's why they don't reverse. That's why they get pushed back. Like,
Gareth spinning the pit lane. Oh, and they're double stacking at Williams, and Grumpy Orange is also spinning the pit lane. Oh my God, it's just gone from bad to just. Oh, this is just Williams imploding. He's going to have a slow stop. He's going to have to. Well, he's not serving his 5 seconds now, but he's onto the medium compound tyres to the end of the Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah, Lofty spun again, sorry Max. Yellow flags are out at turn 13, and there's a Ferrari, a Baggy fan coming in turn 13, and Baggy has to just tighten the line that wee bit more on the exit, and that nearly could have been Dolphin 2.0 there.
Yeah. Even Grumpy Orange has even come out behind a flying lemon who had a wing change. Just, yeah, that is really hampered Grumpy Orange, and obviously he's spinning the pit lane, so there's a few drivers that spin into the pit lane. I think Scott Laney, Gareth and Grumpy Orange just not, well, like you said, just first race cobwebs, and yeah, they just got to get their head down now and drive fast.
You could say they're not quite at the races, even though they're racing. But if you're going to make lofty jokes when he's leading, then I'm going to make bad jokes like that too. So just balance it out that bit there. But I honestly, Lofty. Strong qualifying, in the race is completed in a 360. Crafty's in, he's onto the mediums, so he is going to try and make the mediums work to the end, 16 laps. That probably, Paul's in the pits, medium tyres, Grumpy Orange is in, medium tyres. That's interesting though, because as the mediums got that span, that lifespan in them to take them to the end, would it be a matter of just being a touch and go, or are they actually hoping for like a safety car?
They've taken the softs so long that those mediums should be fine come the end of the Grand Prix now. Yeah, it's just going to be flat out to the finish line. Obviously, Hypers and Dodgy former teammates, and well, they're doing what they did last season, really, and being at the front. I don't know if they ever actually got a 1-2 as teammates, but I mean, they're going to get a 1-2 as it stands, not as teammates. So. Yeah, if there was a safety car right now, then it would really spice the race up. We haven't actually had a stoppage yet, so just shows how much difference has come on since the start of last season, where we had pretty much 4 safety cars, or 3 or 4 safety cars in the first race. So, yeah.
Definitely, like, I think that, I mean, obviously, like, everybody is going to have these wee bumps and graces across along the way, because it is the first race of the season, and it is just a matter of trying to find that rhythm again, really. But
Orange
the way, Orange on the grass. Sorry, I just jumped on board with that one there as soon as you were about to start shouting about it too. So I was just watching. On his spun. Oh, he's having a nightmare. and they brake discs.
Oh my god!
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, what's that? Oh my
I did worry then.
goodness.
Oh, a flying lemon's head of cold and
Honestly.
all that.
Honestly,
Wow.
my heart just fell at my back end. Honestly, like I had no words for what I was seeing there. Like,
I had to put my
and
hand
I'm
to my
just-
mouth because I was like, I just didn't know what was going to happen. I thought one of them was going to collect him. Wow, I
Like-
don't know what he was thinking there. Well, 2 cases of reversing back onto the track. Yeah, and obviously, well, luckily this time no one got affected.
I don't want to be that guy, but did they say they are coming free? So who's next? But
Yeah.
I'm hoping they don't, because that really, I couldn't tell who it was. I think it might have been Baggy. I would need to watch that back and see, but there was a car that had to dive out the way because Orange had just
I think it
gone
was
right back on the main
the
racing line.
McLarens.
The McLaren
and
stay.
Dolphin, possibly. Those 3 are quite close to each other. Yellow flag. Not sure who
That-
that was for.
It looked to be turn 1
Ah,
and
it's
2. and
Grumpy
that looks to be-
Orange. He's being lapped.
And while Grumpy Orange is getting lapped, Colden is going to try and take P8 off a flying lemon, as they're all got DRS behind him in the name of Colden.
Oh, here comes Scott.
Is at the battle, and Scott's gone for the move. Scott's gone up the inside and late on the brakes, up the inside.
flag
Nice
again.
wee move.
Someone's got damage.
Yellow. Oh,
What?
wonder what that's.
Russell's got damage.
Oh,
Oh,
what
no.
happened to him? Did he just run wide?
Yeah,
Did you
he's got,
see?
it looks like I saw some wing damage on the exit of turn 2. Looks like he's just hit the wall.
Oh,
What a
he's Scott like
shame
a good
that
bit of the
is.
curb there. And looking at Scott as well, like I think a flying lemon's actually got damage. Like I don't see his right end plate. Either that, I'm just getting really bad camera angles. Ah, he's not got his end plate. He's got damage. He's got
He's
some
got damage as
understeer.
well. Don't know where that was from. Must be in the last few laps. Yeah, Scott's on a flyer at the moment.
Scott's really kind of finding his rhythm now. That was I mean, we're running on board, but I literally just jumped off him to go and sit with Colden, and Colden was just
Oh, there's been
the
some
next. Oh, and
contact
that's a
at the back.
Ferrari, and that's Russell running wide at turn 12 as well.
Dolphin was off at the
Russell
back
on the grass.
as well. He made contact with Maxwell, I think, or something like that.
Oh, and Scott makes the move on Lemon. He ran wide understeer, kind of kicking in through 13. Scott slides up into P8, and he's going to take 7th because Russell's keeping it to the right and picks up a penalty for his troubles there, even though he was just trying to get into the pits. But Scott up to P7.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to get any higher, I haven't said that, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, Hypers has actually pulled the gap.
Oh, and Lemon spinning. Sorry. Oh,
Oh,
Lemon spinning at turn 2, and I thought he was going to like start rolling backwards onto the main racing line there. And Sprightly was just coming run, and we're going to have to watch because there's Cowan away by. Steve will just be coming up to Lemon as well, so Flying Lemon's tyres will probably be that warm you can cook your dinner on it. But Lemon really just trying to nurse that car to the end, and if it's just if it's damaged, then I would probably come in. Like I don't understand the need to drive 13 laps with a damaged car to the end.
yeah, and
When there
P11 as
could-
well. Something great. Obviously, you're probably going to, need a safety car, and I have definitely jinxed the pair of them. So I do apologise to a Flying Lemon and SR Russell. But yeah, I will not say anything when they're in the points next time.
Exactly, as Steve-O runs wide on 12 there as well. Just bringing Crispy in, is there anything been said in the main chats or the Twitch stream or anything that you have noticed outside myself and Merx's visions?
Yeah, going back to that, what was it, the Grumpy Orange reverse on track, just a lot of people reacting to that. It was quite scary, as you guys said, my heart was in my mouth watching that, I must admit, it was not good. It's kind of, just been that really, just reacting to what happened there, just kind of having a look. It's not really been too much of worth. Just kind of people just chatting a lot of different stuff. Really, nothing of worth.
Just before you go back to you, Briggs, do you think these medium runners of Baird, Paul and Jester can close the gap to the top three, or they don't really seem to do it at the moment?
It might maybe just be a matter of trying to get within the 3 seconds or whatever they've got. I think they'll maybe just try and run penalty. I can Paul obviously can't because you've got the black and white flag next to him, but like I don't think they'll really have any real impact on the top 3 unless a safety car comes out, because that's when they'll start coming into their prime. But after their races, like Crafty and Paul and P4 and 5 on mediums, just kind of running their own races respectively. They've not got anybody running about them 6 seconds and 7 seconds.
Oh, Sprightly's round.
For anybody else.
He's out. Sprightly's out.
And that could well be the safety car we were sitting here talking about. Oh, he's right on the middle of the track, not quite racing line stuff, but everybody
car.
Just somehow.
It's a virtual safety car. Interestingly, Maxwell dived into the pits hoping. And a couple of people in the pits hoping. Wow. I mean, I was just on board with Sprightly because he was right on the back of Colden, and then he just binned it. I do apologise to Sprightly because I was literally waiting to see you overtake Colden, and then or try see if you could overtake Colden, and then all of a sudden he's in the wall and out of the race. And that is a first retirement somehow. And it's a virtual safety car, not a safety car, when he was right in the middle of the track.
I was about to say the same thing because I don't know if you've noticed that Russell's having to practically bring the car to a halt because I'm assuming he's completely burning the delta, but his car's right on the middle of the track, so I would have thought everybody would have been like it would have been at least a full safety car. Flying Lemon gets a drive through for these troubles, so but I was watching everybody just kind of filtering through turn 16 in that battle because it was like Cowan and Flying Lemon, Steve O'Dolphin, Russell, like they were the folk coming round, and everybody just wanted to, like, instead of trying to avoid Sprightly's car, it was almost as if like there's a magnetic pull in the cars to just like pull them together, because everybody just went to the middle of the track and then jumped at the last second. Like, no saying they'll try to play a game of chicken with the damaged car in the track, but that's kind of what it was. Everybody just kind of went central and then jumped back to the main racing line, which is a bit unusual as we start to see some pit lane action there for Flying Lemon. I think he'll be 7 his drive through though, and Steve-O's in after 15 laps on the mediums into Flying Lemon.
He's doing
when it rains, it pours.
Stuff. Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. That's what they say. And honestly, looking at the gaps, if we're not putting orange right at the back of the field, nobody is in any real respective range.
No.
Nobody's in DRS. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
17 cars and they're on 17 separate wee bits of the track.
Yeah, it's not really happening at the front. Having said that, I mean, it could just all turn out saying if there was actually a safety car, then you just never know. If there's a safety car, say lap 25, lap 24, lap 25, it could just put us in an interesting finish as we had last season. I wouldn't mind that once again. Yeah, the two medium runners are not really doing anything, but yeah, you thought Jester would have closed the gap up to Scott Laney, but it looks more like Scott Laney is trying to close the gap up to Dodgy. Interestingly, but he has penalties, of course.
And I think that's definitely it too,
Russell.
because
He almost was in the wall there. Sorry.
no, it's fine. No, because that's the kind of thing too. Like, I think Crafty and Paul are just really. I honestly, truthfully, don't think they'll be sitting thinking about the podium. Like, I ken Paul's going to have to wait his penalty, like, weighing down on him today. Yellow flags in the third.
Lofty, I think, has been off again. I think he has some gravel on his tyres, so he must have gone wide down at turn 12. Probably.
So he's kicked up a wee bit of dirt. Probably brought it back onto the track. But talking about that as well, like, you've got. I don't think Crafty will definitely be thinking the podium. Like, if Scott Laney's penalties like accumulate, then the podium will be there for Crafty. But I don't think, as you were saying, I think a safety car about lap 23, 24, would really need to kind of come in and help Crafty and Paul out. Because they're still in medium tyres and within a good bit of their life.
I think Jester might still get it because Scott Laney still has that speeding in the pit lane penalty. So yeah, I mean, unless someone's off, and that is Grumpy Orange, and he's almost got. Well, he's definitely put off you there. But yeah, I mean, I think he needs a lot more seconds on him. Does Scott Laney to secure that podium place? But it's looking good for him at the moment if he can keep pulling out that gap. But safety car would probably end his podium hopes quite quickly.
Definitely, I think it will just be a matter of what really happens as well and how other events unfold, because you never really know what can happen in the final 8 laps or so. But I'm on board with Dolphin, who has got herself some on-track action to some extent. He is 4/10 of a second shy of Cowan in front. This is for P9. So both of them just kind of running their own race. Dolphin did have a high-flying qualifying, but after spinning, trying to get the overcut to work and reversing back onto the track, he finds himself smack bang in the middle of the field, P10, and Cowan's had a quiet quali. I think he started like in the bottom 5. I could be wrong.
Who's this? Oh, that's wide.
Cowan. Oh, he started 13th, so he was in Q2.
Yeah, I mean he's on for
13th.
points. I think what was his debut race back in Abu Dhabi, I believe. So,
Aye.
and he's well,
Definitely.
that's a yellow flag. That's a Ferrari. Oh, it's Russell. Oh, that's.
Oh, and he's facing back. Well, he's gonna have to watch because there's cars coming. Lofty's just filtering through there, and big crack on the road. Yellow flags, sectors 1, 2, and 3. So. Yeah, sector 2 and 3, just sector 3, and we're back under green soon enough.
I think that might have been Grumpy Orange getting lapped again.
Oh,
yep.
And he's nearly spun again, so Ferrari and Russell really not quite at it now, but I just jumped on board to Russell to see what was really happening. He's going to have the Renault Hypers behind. Well, not for much longer because he'll just dive into the pits.
Yeah. Dolphin still behind Cowan then. It's the only real battle going on. Just as closed a little bit of the gap to Scott Laney, not by much, but yeah, he still might get that P3. Wait and see, depending on if Jester does get that penalty, get any penalties or not. The gap at the front has been between 4.5 5 seconds for a long time now. Scott Laney dropped off the back a little bit as well by a few tenths in the last few laps. Yeah, it's not really much going on. We'll see what. It's just going to be interesting to see what the tyre wear is like, the tyre performance is like for the last part of the race.
Definitely, because I don't think tyre wear is really going to be too much of an issue. But if we're going to talk hypotheticals, say a safety car was to come out the new, do you stay out for track position? Or do you come in for the fresh rubber?
I mean, if you're first, you're kind of in a rock and a hard place in terms of that, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You'd want to come into the pits, but track position is so crucial on this track, so I think you'd have to just bite the bullet and then stay out and hope you could hold people off in this situation. Because, well, we've mentioned plenty of times before, it's difficult to overtake around this track. With the nature of the cars, how they are this time. Dolphin's got a good run on Cowan though, but he's just caught him up in the wrong place completely, and has to stay behind for now. But he's looking for the move, and I think the move is going to be coming soon. We'll wait and see. But he has had struggles through the chicane quite a few times.
And that's just one thing I've noticed. Dolphin does just run really wide and pick up a penalty, but. Both Cowan and Dolphin have really healthy amounts of ERS left to their end deployment, so they've got like the boost there if they need it, really. So Cowan can obviously use that defensively, but Dolphin has just that fraction more, so he can probably like make merely an attempt to try and make the move. Cowan, I've just noticed, is actually nursing some damage as well. Is he? No,
Is
he's
he?
no.
No.
So it just looked really weird for Dolphins, because I was on board with Dolphin, and I looked at Cowan's front right, and I couldn't see the end plate. So I was just wondering if that was if it was damage or no. But we've got Flying Lemon getting round the outside of Baggy into turn 13, and Baggy's been tapped, and he's spun, and there's carbon fibre getting chucked, and that's Baggy fan hitting Bafe was for trouble there. Renaulty Hypers is just coming through. No, that's not Hypers, that's Crafty just coming through, and the yellow flags quickly go back to green, and Baggy has just been slapped right into the wall there. The move is definitely on, but I'll need to see that one back to kind of really see what happened. But it just looked to me a bang in the wheels, and Baggy was being sent into the wall there. But
Russell the fastest
Russell
lap.
was fastest.
He's a long way back, though, having said that. There's a Dolphin is right on the back of Cowan again, but has a poor run through the chicane once again. So yeah, the chicane is his Achilles heel, but to be honest, the dirty air through there is pretty woeful. So we'll see if he gets passed down this straight. There's a bit of dirty air through there and all. So yeah, he's struggling to try and get past. He obviously is carrying a penalty as well, so it's advantage Cowan at the moment. But yeah, Crispy, you seeing anything else around? There's not much going on, but have you been seeing much else going on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you two have kind of summed it up pretty well mostly. I say there's not a fat lot going on really. I mean, I've been keeping an eye on this Hypers and Dodgy at the front quite a bit, and you know, the gap at one point it was about 5.4 seconds. So obviously it has been gradually coming down, but again, right now I just don't think it is enough. Although I do say that Hypers, I think, did just have a bit of a mistake, which is why it has now come down to 3.8. But yeah, so you guys have summed this up pretty well. There's not a huge amount going on anywhere, and yeah, I say Dodgy did have a lot of VRS to play with, which he has used up. But yeah, it's just unfortunately not going to be enough.
Sorry, Crispy, we're going to have a run on. Cowan here on board with Dolphin into turn 13. He's going to have the inside.
He cuts the corner for good measure.
And he just might as well just like take the track and then some, and a bit of the grass way to make the move stick. But as you were saying, Max, I'm sorry, Crispy, for cutting you off. But that was a move definitely being kind of built up and premeditated as such. So Dolphin really just kind of being a bit tactical there. But I'll just go back to Crispy to kind of round up what he was saying before I had to cut him off.
No, yeah, I was just going to say, I think Hypers has probably got this race in the bag now, unless there's a huge mistake from him, which I don't really think is likely. I can't. Yeah, he will probably go on and win this, and well, bearing in mind with penalties as well, I don't quite know how the rest of the grid is going to form come the end of the race. But yeah, that is kind of it really. I think, yeah, we'll see Hypers win this race.
Definitely, it looks to be stacked in his favour, but Lofty is making the move for 13th, and he'll definitely be favouring that position gain up to P13. It's definitely no what he would have thought he would have been fighting for after qualifying pole, but I think Lofty, after the race that he's kind of had, he'll just try and kind of take anything that he can get at this point. But it is a 26-second gap to Steve-O, who is in P12, so Lofty really no having like a race that's worth sticking on your fridge. So, but it's definitely showing us that Lofty has some serious pace in terms of one lap pace, because it's definitely, he's always been there or thereabouts, and then the pole position here kind of solidifies that now that he's in a full-time seat for Haas, and he's going to try and unlap himself with Scott Laney, and I don't know if, I mean, I can you can unlap yourself if you can, you're quick enough, but at the same time, Scott Laney's just nursing 17-lap-old hards, so I don't really know. Like, I don't think Scott Laney will want this to be a fight he wants to be involved in, and Lofty is just kind of like acting as if he's racing him. So
yeah, I think if you're Scott Laney, you just kind of want to let him go because he's on softs, and well, obviously Lofty was the quickest driver, and he's on fresh softs compared to your old hards. So I think just be best case scenario to not lose that much time and just let him go, and well, he's gone, hopefully. So we'll see.
Aye. I think that might have been a concession there for Scott Laney, as Lofty isn't really his fight, but Lofty not really get much to gain. The only thing I can really see him doing as fast as lap is he does run really wide through top
And
three
he's
and
in the
spins. There we go.
And he's out.
Lofty's retired. Aye. And
I mean, I don't want to laugh, but that kind of just, yeah. I mean, there's just kind of, he kind of went past Scott Laney and then was past him for 3 corners and he's out. It just sums up his day,
Right.
really. I mean, yeah, kind of put off Scott Laney at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
that was what I was about to say. Like we were sitting here saying, "Oh, Scott Laney should probably just let him go and let him do his hanging everything else, and like try and just go and build the gap, set the fastest lap, whatever." And then, no even 3 corners down the line, Lofty spins right in front of Scott Laney, and Scott Laney's having to take the avoiding action. So, like, see, I don't mind it if they're going to be quick. If you get me, like, if they're going to just like gallop down the road and go and set the fastest lap and be like 5 seconds ahead of me, but like, I can understand Scott Laney's slight frustration at that, because Lofty looked like he was trying to give him a race, and then he just crashes right in front of him. So
Yeah.
it's really just
Oh,
one of them.
and the
Yellow
flying
flag,
lemon's
that's a
out.
flying lemon. Aye, let's see who's that. That's Crafty. We'll see Crafty because just
Turn
looks to me
2 exit. Well, on turn 2. Obviously, he must have
with the white.
taken a bit of curb
Aye.
down at turn 1, I imagine, and he's in the wall, and that is him out in the middle of the track. Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think he just got a bit too greedy on the inside curb.
You know what,
one, and
Riggs?
the cars.
Just sorry to cut you off. I
Yes.
just realised we're on the final lap. Yeah. Get your driver of the day votes in.
Exactly. Driver of the day votes, please. We would very much love to hear who you thought was your worthy driver of the day, but I'll ride on board with Hypers as he is. He's been off the radar since the start for us. I've not been on board with him for much because he has just run his own race after a lofty spin. But it is going to be Hypers. He moves to a new team. He flies the flag for Renault rather than Racing Point for season 6, and it's going to be the first checkered flag of the season gone to Hypers, and Dodgy will be following in close pursuit for P2. Not quite close enough to challenge, but a P2 will definitely be something he'll be laughing about as well. And even though it says he's took the lead, he's took the win, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Hyper's
that
got a
might be
timing
a
glitch.
timing
Yeah, because
glitch.
he left during the
Right.
race.
Right, that's fine.
And Jester
And-
gets 3rd.
And Crafty does jump up, and that's no through the glitch. Paul does take P5, so it's a Bull 4-5.
Nice,
2-3,
Red Bull.
4-5.
You love it.
And,
You love it.
and Gareth, and as you were saying, nice subtle support for them there. But Gareth, quiet race for a quiet driver, P6 on the day. Scott, after starting 18th, does take P7 on track. Whether it's going to be P7 in the provisional results, that's another thing, as we see Baggy just completely ruining that car, getting the Scuderia a wee bit more work today over the course of next week.
Nice one, Baggy.
But it's got to be Colden for P8 on the track, and Dolphin after his spin for the lead and his attempted overcut.
Yeah. Oh,
On
my
big contact.
word.
All
What
right,
have I
that's-
just seen?
That is one way to finish the race for Maxwell.
Cheers, Baggy. Oh my god. Well,
But
not the race Baggy wanted, but yeah, he's provided a great crash at the end.
definitely, and the podium is slightly deceptive due to the timing glitch. It would have been. It is Hypers that is your race winner for Renault, but Dodgy does take the P2 for Alfa Romeo, so the former teammates are sharing the glory of the top 2 places. You were saying earlier in the race, it's a 1-2, but they're not the same team anymore. And you've got Crafty after a very unusual qualifying strategy. He ends up on the podium. I mean, quiet race for him. He made the softs to mediums work. He did stretch the the source for a bit longer. It did end up working for him. Quiet race to P3, and he does benefit due to Scott Laney's penalties, but Scott Laney P4, Red Bull 4 and 5, so some solid points in the bank there for them. Gareth in P6, Scott 7th, Colden 8th, Cowan up and getting his first points as well after starting 13th, and Maxwell up into the final points paying position. Steve-O just missing out there, Dingo Dolphin, SLR Dolphin, sorry, in P12. And we've got a grumpy orange Russell being a lap down, and then you've got Baggy Fan just absolutely sending it into the pit wall there, again the Ferrari boys a wee bit more work today. Flying Lemon, Lofty after his pole position and his free stops just ended up losing it on the day on the penultimate lap, and we've got SLR Sprightly losing it on the final corner, who did show some promising pace in qualifying before his accident, and it just wasn't meant to be, just didn't hook up. But it's looking to be solid start for Renault and Red Bull here in Division 3. After a 1-3 for the Renault boys and a 4-5 for the Bulls, and Dodgy as well after being in the championship fight for so long last season, keeping his cell in contention. Also, it's really, really early on to say what's happening with this and that, but Dodgy once again showing us that the pace is definitely there to compete once again. I'll pass it over to Max. So
yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, thank you, Riggs. So yeah, we'll start off with our third place man, SLR Jester. I just realised it's an SLR podium. Quite unique. Love to see it. SLR Jester is third, courtesy of Scott Laney's penalties. Quiet race from you. I mean, it was quiet race from everyone, but quiet race from you. Obviously, you managed to get past Gareth as he got affected by, I think it was Dolphin at the time, and then yeah, you made good work of that and just quietly went your way about the race, and yeah, well, managed to beat Scott Laney due to the amount of penalties he had. I mean, on the podium for your first race, double Renault podium, I'm sure it's a solid way to start the season.
Yeah, really, really happy. Missed out in Q3. Couldn't put a lap in qualifying. I kept invalidating my laps, and by the time I managed to get a lap in Q2 on the mediums, it was too late to go back in and out again. So to start 11th and get P3, I'm really happy. As you say, there was a few incidents. Gareth was really unlucky with Dolphin. Managed to get by him. A few other people just had lots of penalties, and I managed to keep it penalty free and make it up to third. So yeah, definitely happy. Really nervous after coming back off the off season, so yeah, glad.
Yeah, that was a good drive. I didn't actually see if you got driver of the day.
I think Pipers might have got it. Yeah.
There was a lot of votes for all of you three, but yeah. But still, it was a pretty decent performance after qualifying, so well done on the start of the season. On to our second place man, it is SR Dodgy. Obviously we know that's a timing glitch for Pipers as he had no penalties, so yeah, he left the session, got back in actually, so Dodgy P2, your former teammate is first. I'm sure you would have loved to got one over your former teammate, but yeah, I mean, you obviously were close to him at one point, but it just looked like he had just a bit more pace than you had in that second stint. How would you assess your race?
Pretty drama-free, to be honest. I was expecting a bit of a safety car, maybe a couple of virtual safety cars with a lot of pit stops, but I didn't have much to do, to be honest. I think I only made one overtake in the whole race. It was pretty much just driving around and keeping up the pace. I didn't notice as well that obviously Hypers was keeping the gap the same lap after lap, so I just thought, well, we're lapping it the same, I cannot go any faster, so after about lap 23, I think I just conceded the fact that I was going to be second, and then just thought I'm going to bring the car home.
Yeah, it was a lot like that for a lot of people out there. Especially near the front, there wasn't really too much going on, but nonetheless, P2 is a good performance to start the season off. So yeah, I mean, looks like you're picking up the pace again and back at the front. So it'd be good to see what happens over the course of this season. So well done on the P2.
Cheers, thank you.
So then on to our race winner. Hypers obviously had a bit of a worry when he disconnected, but managed to get him back in quickly enough and still kept the lead due to Lofty spinning at the same time. But yeah, after that, after you got back in, it seemed like you had it all under control, and yeah, the race was yours after lap 1, I'd have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like obviously I got fortunate off the line that Lofty had a bit of a wiggle out of T1, and I managed to just scoop up the inside. But then yeah, so obviously the disconnection was worrying. I thought I was going to have the same the same issues I had last year at the start of the season, but sort of didn't get disconnected again, so that's good. But yeah, Lofty spinning out sort of opened up that door just to pull the lead. I think if he had stayed in, he was probably quicker. I think if he had just not spun, I think we would have been battling all the way through. So that's obviously a shame that we didn't get that. But it's always good to win the first season. I did it last year, won Bahrain on my opener. So keep the trend going.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, driver of the day as well. So
Oh, brilliant! Thank you very much.
Well done.
yeah, you have a lot of fans.
Yeah.
In the chat for your commanding drive. So well done on that, and yeah,
Thank you.
start as you mean to go on. So well done on the P1.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, well done,
Over
mate.
Well
Over
done.
to you.
Congrats, team. Go on, Team Renault.
Up the
Guys,
Renaults.
let's go.
It's amazing how loyalty's changed real quick, isn't it?
Yeah, Williams out.
Last year.
But I definitely got some good fan support in there. I was just having to scroll through the chat just to kind of see the driver of the day votes coming in. I completely missed them, and honestly, the chats over the course of the first races, hectic, and it's no different here in Division 3. So I had to scroll a good bit up there, and we had as many as 70 viewers at one point as well. So I'd want to thank each and every one of them for tuning in at least at some point to see what was happening here. I definitely hope he's one disappointed, because I wasn't. I thought it was a really good race despite the chaos and everything in between. But we've had a bit of a Marmite view of Australia, but if Australia's pretty much your thing and you can't get enough of it, you can get another fix them on when SLR Elite take to the track for the first time this season as well at 7 o'clock GMT. Now I think we're in GMT, so 7 o'clock GMT if you want to see SLR Elite take to the track for the first time this season, where you'll see my co-commentator Merx and Crispy as well, who joined us for this session, take to the track in their respective teams. They have no changed teams, so it'll not be too hard to find them. So be sure to tune in, and you can see how they fare and listen to the respective commentators for that race as well. If it's not quite your thing, you can tune in this time next week, Saturday the 16th of January, for Bahrain at 9 o'clock GMT, where Division 3 will take to the track once again. And we hope we will see you either tomorrow or next week. But either way, from us, it is us signing off, and we'll catch you in the next stream.